Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Snow, and today I'm here to talk to you about the Second Amendment, easily one of the most controversial amendments to the Constitution. The Second Amendment reads like this: well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This is an understandable rule to make, because without the arms that the people had borne prior to the American Revolution could not have been able to succeed, because the militia was one of the primary military units which allowed the colonists, the Americans, as they were beginning to be called, to win the war. The militia and the Minutemen, ever popular, were the mainline force against the British before the Continental Army could be made and marshaled and placed under George Washington. Without the militia, America would not have lasted to the point that it did, when the Continental Army could be made and George Washington could take command of it, and with the assistance of Baron von Steuben, or Steuben, or however you wish to pronounce it, train it into the efficient fighting force that won the war. Another time that the militia made itself known was during the Fugitive War. While Washington was facing the British in one place, they were also, under Lord Cornwallis, which would ultimately lead to their defeat, engaging in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Tennessee. The militias that they had down there would give the men experience that they would later use to win the battles of Kings Mountain and the Cowpens. The reason the Second Amendment is so controversial these days, even though when it was first made it was a common sense thing. Everyone needs a weapon to protect their rights, to protect their lives, their liberty, and since Indian wars were not uncommon during this time period, you needed your gun by you. These days, however, unfortunately, guns have not been used responsibly, nor indeed have they been used properly for the protection of life and liberty. Instead, they have been used to take away said life and liberty. We get what we had last year in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas shooting. Last year in Texas, the Las Vegas church, the Texas church shooting. I apologize. This is a somber subject for me, and it confuses my mind. You have people taking their Second Amendment right to bear arms and abusing it very badly. I, for one, do not agree that taking away guns is the solution. I don't know what the solution is yet. I don't claim to know what the solution is yet. But without the right to bear arms, America wouldn't have come to be as we know it and love it today. So it's complicated. Now, it's been complicated for quite some time, since the Supreme Court's decision in District of Columbia versus Heller and McDonald versus City of Chicago, which essentially discussed, does the Second Amendment cover the right to buy and own and carry out of home a handgun? These court cases, as much of American law relies on precedents, is very important, because the argument is that, does the Second Amendment scope cover the right to carry a handgun for self-defense? I personally feel that, well, duh, it's the right to bear arms. It makes sense to me. But there is an argument that could be made that, no, if you're buying a gun for defense of your home, it stays in your home. I personally despise gun-related violence, but I also see the value in having a gun, as I have been personally stalked many times by hostile people who would seek to do me and my family physical harm. I see the value in having a gun available to protect myself and those I love. I hope a solution is found soon that protects everyone and yet doesn't strip away one of the basic American rights to bear arms. Because, let's be honest, the criminals aren't going to stop carrying guns. The law-abiding citizens will, which will make them more vulnerable, in my opinion, to the criminals. I hope you all have a great week. God bless.